However, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled in my chest. Sarah was not only my friend, but she was also much older than me, and that fact gnawed at me, making me question if what we were doing was appropriate. As the final day of our parents' absence arrived, Sarah confronted me, her eyes filled with fear. "Are you going to tell them?" she asked, her voice shaking. I hesitated, torn between my loyalty to my friend and my growing sense of unease. "I don't know," I admitted, tears stinging my eyes. I don't know if what we're doing is right." Sarah's face crumpled, as she looked at me with pleading eyes. In that moment, she made a desperate offer. "If you promise not to tell, I'll sleep with you. Please, just keep this between us," she begged, her voice trembling with desperation. I could see the fear in her eyes, and it tugged at my heartstrings. I hesitated, feeling a sinking sensation in the pit of my stomach. I didn't want to make things worse, but I also couldn't bear the thought of betraying her trust. Reluctantly, I agreed, hoping that this final encounter would somehow put an end to the tangled web we'd woven. As we slipped into my bedroom, the atmosphere was different from our previous encounters. The air was heavy with tension, and the urgency of our actions made everything feel rushed and hasty. We fumbled through our clothes, barely taking the time to look at one another before we were entwined on the bed. I tried to lose myself in the moment, but I couldn't shake the feeling of guilt that consumed me. As I looked into Sarah's eyes, I saw something that stopped me cold. She seemed to be enjoying herself, while I felt like I was being taken advantage of. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks, and I knew I couldn't continue. I pulled away from her, my chest heaving as I struggled to catch my breath. Sarah looked at me, confused and concerned. "What's wrong?" she asked, her voice laced with worry. "I can't do this anymore. This isn't right, and I can't keep pretending that it is." Sarah's face crumpled, and she reached for me, but I gently pushed her away. "I'm sorry," I said, my voice cracking with emotion. "I just can't. You should leave now." Sarah got dressed and stormed off without saying another word. When our parents returned the next day, I confessed everything. The devastation in their faces was heart-wrenching, and I could see the pain my actions had caused. In the end, my parents decided that Sarah could no longer be a part of our lives. They told her parents everything, and Sarah was subsequently banned from our house. She moved away soon after, and I haven't seen her since.